Welcome to Cite Right, a mandatory online workshop put together by librarians at the Faculty of Information. The purpose of this workshop is to acquaint you with the University of Toronto's position on plagiarism and academic integrity, and to inform you of the resources available to help you with citations and writing. All incoming iSchool students are required to become well acquainted with the material covered in this workshop. In keeping with the university's dedication to academic integrity, these slides will cover parts of the University of Toronto Code of Behaviour on Academic Matters as they relate to plagiarism, and review proper citation practices by examining examples of intentional and unintentional plagiarism. Additionally, resources and services are highlighted to assist you with citation and writing. It is your responsibility to review the content contained within this PowerPoint presentation, including all slides and notes, and to complete and submit the Cite It Right quiz by no later than Sunday, September 17, 2017. A record of your Cite It Right workshop completion will be retained by the Faculty of Information and may be made available to iSchool administrators and instructors. The Faculty of Information makes this workshop mandatory because the iSchool, like the rest of the University of Toronto, takes academic integrity very seriously. Most of you already practice good habits that ensure that you are honest in your intellectual work. Many of you may also belong to a scholarly or professional body that maintains a set of scholarly or professional ethics, including standards against cheating and plagiarism. Unfortunately, each year the university catches incidents of cheating, plagiarism, and other acts of academic dishonesty. Such acts tarnish the reputation of the academic institution and are in violation of the university's Code of Behaviour on Academic Matters 2016. By virtue of belonging to the University of Toronto, the administration expects that you follow the code. Not knowing the code is not an adequate excuse for committing an academic offense. The link on the slide above will lead you to the full text of the code. We're now going to go through some highlights of the document. Section B of the Code of Behaviour on Academic Matters lists the acts that the university considers to be academic offences. On the slide in front of you is a summary of these acts, but do note that this list is not exhaustive. It is an academic offence for a student to forge or falsify documents, use, possess, or obtain unauthorized aids for academic exams, tests, or work, allow another person to write one's own exam or test, or writing someone else's for them, commit plagiarism, reuse an assignment from another class without the instructor's approval, and concoct facts or reference sources. In addition to the offenses listed on the previous slide, faculty members and students have a responsibility not to aid others in committing an academic offense. Faculty members and instructors will not approve of any form of cheating or plagiarism. They are obligated to report any acts of plagiarism that they detect. No matter how well your instructor likes you, they cannot shield you because it places their own career and reputation on the line. It is considered an academic offense to alter, forge, or falsify academic records or to engage in any form of academic dishonesty. Section C and Appendix C of the Code of Behaviour on Academic Matters cover the penalties that the university can enforce. Please review the offenses listed on the slide. Note: obtaining a 0 on an assignment, reduction of the final grade, and failing a course are the best case scenarios. A notation on your transcript indicating that you have been found guilty of an academic offense means that any hopes you may have had of pursuing further academic studies are effectively over. If you are expelled, you will no longer be able to obtain your degree, and if you've already obtained your degree, it can be cancelled retroactively by the university. This is a pop quiz. Use the following questions to test your knowledge. A frequently asked question is, I have an idea written into my paper, but I don't remember where it came from. It will take a lot of time to go back and figure out where it came from. Do I still have to cite anything? The answer is yes. You'll have to go back and try to figure out which sources you looked at, and document those sources through in-text citations and bibliographical references. Another frequently asked question is, if I use content composed by someone else, whether it's a piece of text, an image, a video clip, or a song, Do I have to cite that source? A specific example might be, I have a video assignment for a class. I'm using a song that a friend wrote for the soundtrack. She gave me permission to use it. Do I still need to cite anything? The answer is yes. You must provide songwriting credit to your friend because you are not the creator of that content, and you must provide attribution for using it in your assignment. So, how do you avoid plagiarism? Here are our suggestions. Use references and in-text citations as required by the citation style that you're following. Don't just list everything in a bibliography. Your in-text citations and references should reflect the specific ideas and bodies of work of others upon which you have built your paper or assignment. Don't cut and paste. Choose and use quotations carefully. Just as importantly, make sure that you have not quoted your sources out of context. Use quotation marks accurately. Remember that they must be used for direct quotations. And paraphrase carefully. Choose your own words and forms of expression. If you borrow words from the original source, use quotation marks around them. Make sure that your writing clearly indicates when you are citing others versus when you are expressing your own original thought. Take thorough notes that include all the sources you have read so that you know where to go if you ever need to retrace your work or verify a statement. Remember that it is better to oversight than to undercite. Common knowledge does not need to be cited, but you should use common knowledge judiciously. For more tips, refer to Margaret Proctor's How Not to Plagiarize. This is a pop quiz. Use the following questions to test your knowledge. Which statement in the slide above expresses common knowledge? Statement A is common knowledge. Statement B is an opinion. If it's someone else's opinion, you must provide credit to that person by including a citation to the source. If it's your own opinion, you will need to provide evidence to support your claim. Common causes of plagiarism include improperly paraphrasing someone else's words, not using quotation marks when necessary, and not clearly distinguishing between someone else's ideas and one's own. Try this next exercise. You'll be given a quotation, compare it with the paraphrase, and spot the problem with the paraphrase. This exercise is adapted from the video Changing Some Words but Copying Whole Phrases by Kevin de la Plante, published in 2010. In the notes of this slide, you can find a link to the video. The quotation on the left has been pulled from Kara Krumpatich's 2010 article, Remembering and Repatriation, the Production of Kinship, Memory, and Respect, from the Journal of Material Culture. Thanks to Professor Kara Krumpatich for her permission to use an excerpt of her work for this exercise. The text on the right side is an example of a paraphrase. In reading these two pieces of text, what are some problems that you can spot with the paraphrase? I'll give you a moment to review the slide. Let's review the problems with this paraphrase. It looks more like a cut and paste job than an actual paraphrase. There is no attribution given to Kara Krumpatich, the original author. No quotation marks have been inserted, even though many of the words are verbatim from the original source. Even if quotation marks are inserted, an attribution is given to Professor Krumpatich. Too many words from the source have been copied for this to be a true paraphrase. Notice that only 8 out of the 36 words in the sentence are original to the student, while the rest come directly from the quotation. This would be an example of plagiarism. Take a look at the text on the right side of the slide. This is an example of an appropriate paraphrase. Because the student gives attribution to Professor Krumpatich, the formatting of the in-text citation clearly denotes that the entire sentence is an expression of Professor Krumpatich's idea rather than an expression of the student's own idea. The student attempts to summarize the key idea contained within the quotation using the student's own words. By using his or her own words, the student demonstrates an honest attempt to synthesize what he or she has read. Note, the citation style used in this example is APA. This is a pop quiz. Use the following questions to test your knowledge. Read the passage on the above slide and identify the pieces of information that are needed in order to give correct attribution for the quotation. This quotation comes from Chris Spence, the former Toronto District School Board Director, who was forced to resign in January 2013 after his acts of plagiarism were discovered. The quotation is taken from a newspaper article. See the next slide for the information needed to provide accurate attribution. I'll give you a moment to read the slide. This slide answers the question, what information do you need in order to give correct attribution? In addition to inserting an in-text citation at the point where the quotation is reproduced, many citation styles require a citation entry in a bibliography or reference list. Below is an example of one such entry formatted in APA Citation. You can find it in the notes of this slide. Consider this next question. In my latest paper, I inserted my own sketch of a public domain photo. Since the photo is no longer under copyright, I don't need to cite anything. True or false? False. Public domain simply means that the content is no longer under copyright protection, and that the content can be used elsewhere without prior permission or payment of royalties. Although something is in the public domain, you still need to credit the source from which you obtain the content. Always provide a citation to the source, whether it's from an archival collection, an image database, or a website. Remember, you must cite the listed sources. Now that you know what needs to be cited, let's turn to the question of how to cite those sources. Review the points covered on this slide. This is a pop quiz. Use the following questions to test your knowledge. Is the following statement true or false? Because of a family crisis, I had to rush through my essay. I don't have time to create a bibliography, but since I have a few in-text citations, I won't be penalized. False. An appropriate way of handling this situation would be to speak with your instructor as early as possible. Notify them of your situation and request an extension on the assignment deadline. While your instructor reserves the right to deny extension requests, getting a lower grade on a late but properly cited assignment is better than failing a course, being suspended, or being expelled. Ensuring that citations are captured correctly can be labor-intensive, but the good news is that there are many tools available to help you with this part of the writing process. The University of Toronto Libraries Guide has an excellent citation management tools comparison chart. Register for a Cite in APA, Zotero, or RefWorks iSkills workshop to learn how to properly cite, save your references while writing, and more. Citation management tools such as Zotero and RefWorks can assist you with the following: create databases and folders of references, import references from library catalogs, indexes, abstracting services, and the internet. Some have plugins available for Microsoft Word, Pages, or OpenOffice so that you can easily add references from your database to the pages that you're writing in the citation style that you choose. Some tools also allow you to synchronize and share your references with other people. As a U of T student, you have many resources at your disposal. The Writing Center at U of T offers writing workshops and tip sheets on writing, plagiarism, and citation formats. The Graduate Center for Academic Communication is specifically designed for graduate students at the U of T. They emphasize professional development, not remediation, and help students strengthen their oral and written communication skills for conferences, writing, and publication. They offer courses and workshops for both native and non-native English speakers. If you prefer online help, check out the Purdue OWL, U of T Guides on Citation, and How to Avoid Plagiarism. The Faculty of Information and Robarts Library have a great team of professionals here to help you with your research and citation questions. For quick reference, you can visit the Inforum, visit our website, or reach us by telephone and email. Robarts has in-depth reference help available to University of Toronto students. Their Ask Us desks can help with quick reference questions, and librarians are available by consultation, email, telephone, or their website. It's now time to complete the quiz. These are the references used in this presentation. You can connect with the Inforum online, over the phone, via email, or on Facebook and Twitter. This is the end of the Cite It Right presentation. Thank you.